go a couple of months, a few months, and that pain is still there, it eventually becomes trauma or post-traumatic stress disorder, where you can't even function, right, because of the pain, because of what you're suffering, what you're going through, the traumatic experience. And I know if you live the life that I live, we got a few of them here that live the life that I live, right, in the streets, games. I know what you've seen. And what I say about my homeboys is that, and they seen a whole lot more because I got saved young. They were still out there. I got saved at 22 and a half years old, and a lot of them were still out there. So I know they even suffered more trauma. And I was talking with William today at Memorial Park. Then you're dealing with the trauma of going to prison. We all have our painful experiences that we go through. And we're not taught, we're not instructed or encouraged on how to move from pain to deliverance. So we carry that pain with us. And eventually it becomes trauma. Whatever the bad experience that you've gone through, you can tap into your memory and you can remember that. But it's not about whether you remember it or not. It's how it affects you when you do remember it. Do you relive everything you went through when you think about that? Or can you share your story with a smile? Well, that's where you used to be. And if you can share your story with a smile and it don't impact you no more, that means you've been delivered. And you can talk about it and not be impacted by it. But when you share your stories and it still impacts you, you still got trauma that you need to deal with. Still got some pain that you still, for whatever reason, you're still holding on to it. I remember my daughter Joy. Our church was in Paradise Hills. And we pulled up and there was a shooting that happened in front of the store. There was a liquor store on the other end of the building complex. I had a church here. But we was on one end, and on the other end was a church, a liquor store, and there was two people out in the park. They weren't dead out in the parking lot, but blood everywhere, right? They had just been shot. This was like in the early 2000s, somewhere around then. And my daughter was traumatized by it. And the police, when they came over to the church, everybody was okay, but they said, hey, did you see anything? They want to solve the crime, right? They weren't concerned about the trauma that folks are going through. Right. But my daughter, there's two things I'll tell you about my daughter, that the issue that she had. And she was real scared. Number one, every time we came to church, she would be so scared, she would wait till the door was open, and she would run from the car to church. Soon as we got to the church, she'd jump out and run in because she was so scared, right? And I knew she was, because I had dealt with my trauma, so I knew what she was dealing with, right? And, I started working with, I did some things, but I had to help her deal with it, her trauma. But then the other thing with her was, whenever we were going somewhere, she was asking where we were going. She said, where we going? Because she wanted to know, are we going to the hood? She didn't say it like that, but that's what she wanted to know. I want to go. Because when she saw that I ain't going nowhere where there's some violence or something happen, I don't want to go. But she would always ask, right? But that was her trauma that she dealt with. And realistically, there's, when we experience things, though, we learn from it. Some say, man, I ain't never going over there no more. Yeah. Right? But thank God that we have a healer, right? We have a deliverer that will deliver us. And when God told the children of Israel, don't ever go back to Egypt, you got to really look back on what was the mess they have to go back to. You don't think they were dealing with trauma back there, and pain and oppression? Don't go back there.